All right, let's dive into something pretty cool today. We're looking at agile methodologies
Okay.
and specifically how ChatGPT might change the game.
Interesting.
So we're going to be looking at a recent article. It's called Five Ways to Optimize Agile Methodologies with ChatGPT and Project Management.
Hmm.
It's in Portuguese, and it was just published on January 5th, 2025, so very, very
Like,
recent.
wow.
I'm really fascinated by the idea of using AI to like really fine-tune
Yeah.
agile processes.
It's
So,
interesting, right? Because on the surface, Agile is already all about efficiency
right,
and adapting to change.
right,
But, there's always room to grow, right?
exactly. Yeah,
So combining those principles with AI, with the analytical power,
yeah,
could really lead to some amazing advancement.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, I know you're a pro when it comes to agile,
Oh,
but for our listeners who might not be as familiar,
yeah.
can you give us a quick overview of why efficiency is so crucial in agile project management?
Sure, sure. So in Agile, we love to break down those big, scary projects
Right.
into smaller, more manageable pieces. We call them sprints.
The friends. Yeah.
It helps teams stay flexible, respond to changes quickly,
Right.
and deliver value kind of incrementally.
Yep.
But the success of those sprints really depends on being super efficient
Right.
with time and resources.
Makes sense.
And that's where ChatGPT seems to have, the potential to make a big impact.
I think so too. So let's get into the details. The article highlights 5 key areas where ChatGPT can really enhance agile methodologies. The first one that really jumped out at me is backlog refinement
Yes.
and strategic prioritization.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So the backlog is basically the to-do list for the whole project.
Right.
But managing it,
Yeah.
sometimes it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
ChatGPT can actually analyze each item in the backlog,
Okay.
looking at things like customer impact, how
Yeah.
complex it is technically, and the expected return on investment. So this level of analysis can really help teams prioritize,
Yeah.
the tasks that deliver the most value
Right.
without getting lost in the weeds.
Right. And the article actually gives us some really handy prompt examples.
For
For instance, you could ask ChatGPT to analyze the backlog items and suggest priorities based on effort and value added,
Ooh.
or create a RICE prioritization matrix to organize the backlog.
Mm,
So these prompts give ChatGPT like very clear instructions
yeah,
and help it generate very targeted and actionable outputs.
right. Imagine, being able to generate a detailed rice matrix
Wow.
in seconds,
Yeah.
complete with all the calculations and rankings
Right.
based on the criteria that you set.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a huge time saver. And it frees up the team to actually focus on the work
Exactly.
rather than debating endlessly about what to tackle first.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it also makes you wonder,
Yeah.
how do we make sure that teams don't become, too reliant
Right.
on these suggestions
Right.
and lose that ability to critically evaluate priorities themselves?
That's a great point. I mean, it's all about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Leveraging the power of AI, but also
Yeah,
maintaining the critical thinking skills,
absolutely.
which are so essential for good project management.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
The next area the article explores is organizing daily meetings and status reports.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
And we all know how crucial clear communication is in Agile,
Oh, absolutely.
but keeping those channels flowing smoothly can be tricky.
Yeah, it can be.
And let's be honest, sometimes those daily updates and reports,
Yeah,
they can feel like a bit of a chore.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if, instead of manually taking notes
Yeah,
and summarizing those daily stand-up meetings,
right.
you could just ask ChatGPT, prepare a summary with the main challenges and advances discussed.
Wow, that would definitely streamline things.
Yeah, think about the benefits.
Yeah,
Having all those meeting summaries, neatly organized,
right.
readily available for reference,
Yeah,
it creates this valuable archive of project history
that's true.
that you can easily search.
Right.
And it provides insights into team dynamics and progress over time.
Absolutely. Plus, you could generate those weekly status reports for stakeholders in a fraction of the time.
Oh, yeah, much faster.
It's almost like having a dedicated assistant just focused on keeping everyone in the loop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The article also suggests prompting ChatGPT to create a weekly project status report for stakeholders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we're not just saving time.
Right.
We're also ensuring consistency and objectivity in the way that information is presented.
Absolutely, yeah. But, while that sounds fantastic in theory,
Yeah.
it makes me think,
Yeah.
could these reports become too sanitized?
Oh, interesting.
Lacking the nuance.
Right.
That sometimes comes from human observation.
That's a really good point. It's like we need to find that balance again.
Yeah.
The efficiency of the AI-generated reports, but also the human touch.
Absolutely.
That provides deeper insights into the team's experiences and challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, striking that balance is going to be key as we move forward with this.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit,
Yep.
talk about sprint planning.
Right.
I think we can all agree that accurately mapping out those sprints is crucial.
Oh, it's so important.
But predicting timelines and potential roadblocks, it can be a bit tricky.
It can be tricky. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
right. And poor sprint planning can lead to missed deadlines, frustration,
Oh, yeah.
ultimately project delays.
It's a juggling act,
It is.
keeping all those balls in the air.
Yeah.
The article suggests using ChatGPT as a virtual sprint planning assistant.
Okay.
So imagine prompting it to create a schedule for a 2-week sprint with detailed deliverables, or suggest adjustments to the sprint plan, considering delays and unforeseen events reported.
That kind of assistance would be incredible, especially when it comes to adjusting plans based on the unexpected.
Oh, yeah. Because, those unexpected events, they always pop up.
They always do. They always do.
Yeah. And ChatGPT wouldn't just be pulling this information out of thin air.
Right.
It can actually analyze historical data from past sprints,
Okay.
identifying patterns and trends,
Wow.
things that humans might miss.
Right.
It could highlight tasks that consistently take longer than estimated, or flag potential bottlenecks based on, previous project data.
It's like having a data-driven crystal ball.
Exactly.
It helps you anticipate and adapt to challenges before they completely derail the sprint.
It's all about being responsive, flexible in the face of evolving needs and challenges, but
Yeah.
wouldn't relying on those AI-generated adjustments, potentially create a blind spot for the team. Could it lead to a situation where they become overly dependent on, ChatGPT's predictions
Right.
and less attuned to those subtle shifts in the project landscape?
That's a fascinating question, and I think it highlights the importance of keeping humans in the loop.
Yeah.
Even as we leverage these powerful AI tools,
Absolutely.
we have to make sure that the teams are still actively engaged
Yeah.
in critical thinking, problem solving,
Yeah,
and decision making
for sure.
throughout the entire project lifecycle.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's about finding that, that sweet spot
Right.
where AI augments human capabilities,
Right.
not replaces them.
Exactly. All right. So let's move on to the fourth area where ChatGPT can potentially make a difference.
Okay.
Risk management.
Oh, risk management, yeah.
No matter how well you plan, unforeseen circumstances always happen.
Always.
They're bound to arise.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Risk is it's a part of every project.
Right.
And agile projects, with their iterative nature,
Right.
often face even more potential for disruption.
Because of those constant adjustments.
Exactly, all those feedback loops.
Yeah.
So the article suggests that ChatGPT could be a real game changer when it comes to proactively identifying and mitigating risks.
Okay.
So imagine you can prompt ChatGPT to list the main risks identified in the last sprint and suggest mitigation strategies. Having that kind of foresight would be so valuable.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah. Instead of just reacting to problems as they come up,
Right.
you could anticipate them
Right.
and address them
Yeah.
before they even impact the project.
Right. It's shifting from like a reactive to a proactive risk management approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, while having this AI-powered risk assessment tool sounds amazing,
Yeah.
can't help but think, could it also create a false sense of security?
Oh, that's interesting.
Could teams become complacent, assuming that, ChatGPT has identified and accounted for every single risk,
Right.
when in reality, there might be unforeseen factors that the AI just hasn't been trained to recognize?
That's a really insightful point. It brings us back to that balance we were talking about. AI can provide incredible insights
Yeah.
and assistance, but it shouldn't replace human judgment and intuition entirely.
Totally agree.
Teams still need to be vigilant, critically assess the information,
Yes.
provided by the AI, and be ready to adapt to those, inevitable curveballs that every project throws our way.
Oh, absolutely. Every project has them. It's
Yeah,
just part of the process.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
it really is fascinating to think about, what it would be like to have these advanced AI tools at our disposal.
For sure.
It's not just about automating tasks.
Right.
It's about reshaping the way we approach project management. Yeah, like as a whole.
That's a great point. Yeah, this isn't just about robots taking over. It's about, how can we use this to enhance what we do
Exactly.
and create a more collaborative and efficient working environment for everyone?
Absolutely. Now, I'd love to kind of dig a little deeper into some of those specific prompts
Yeah, let's do it.
that the article provides.
Okay.
It's one thing to talk about it conceptually, but seeing them in action
Right.
can really make it click.
For sure.
So let's start with backlog refinement.
Okay.
The article suggests asking ChatGPT to analyze backlog items
Mm-hmm.
based on effort and value added.
Okay. Can you break that down a bit further for our listener?
Sure. So when we talk about effort in this context, we're really talking about the resources and time
Right.
required to complete a task.
Makes sense.
And then value added that focuses on, the benefits or the impact that task will have on the project
Okay.
or the end user.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, right?
Yes.
The tasks that give you the most bang for your buck.
Exactly. And by asking ChatGPT to analyze those two factors, we can get a more objective assessment of which tasks should be prioritized.
Interesting.
It takes some of the subjectivity
Yeah, for sure.
and potential bias out of the equation.
Right. The article also mentions using ChatGPT to create a RICE prioritization matrix.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the concept,
Yeah.
but could you give our listeners a quick overview?
Of course, RICE stands for Reach, Impact, Confidence, and Effort.
Okay.
And each backlog item gets a score
Uh-huh.
on these four factors, and those scores generate a prioritized list.
So instead of spending all that time, debating priorities in a meeting,
Yeah.
you could have ChatGPT crunch the numbers
Exactly.
and generate a RICE matrix in seconds.
Precisely. It
Yeah.
streamlines the process, and it makes sure that the decisions are based on data
Right.
rather than just gut feeling or personal preference.
That makes a lot of sense, leading to more consistent and transparent decision-making.
Yes,
Which is crucial for building trust, within the team
absolutely.
and with stakeholders.
For sure. Now moving on to daily meetings
Okay.
and status reports.
Yeah.
I'm curious how ChatGPT can help streamline those processes.
I'm really interested in the idea of ChatGPT automatically generating meeting summaries.
Yes.
That sounds like it would save so much time.
Good picture that your daily stand-up meeting just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of scrambling to take notes and spending time writing a summary,
Right.
you just say, ChatGPT, prepare a summary with the main challenges and advances discussed.
Wow.
Yeah,
That would free up so much mental space for the team.
exactly. They don't have to worry about capturing every little detail.
Right.
They can just focus on the discussion.
And think about having all those summaries.
Yes.
Readily available.
In one central location.
Yeah.
It could be like a valuable repository of project knowledge,
Yeah.
providing insights into team dynamics, roadblocks, encountered solutions implemented.
It's like a searchable archive of the team's collective memory.
Exactly. And the article also suggests prompting ChatGPT to create a weekly project status report for stakeholders. This could be huge for project managers who are juggling multiple projects
All right.
and deadlines.
It's like having a personal assistant dedicated to keeping everyone informed.
Exactly. And because ChatGPT is creating these reports,
Yeah.
based on the information it gathers from the meeting summaries and project data,
Uh-huh.
you're ensuring a level of consistency and objectivity
Right.
that can be hard to achieve manually.
That's a great point. It removes the potential for human bias or those unintentional omissions.
Yes, exactly. Now, while this automation is super beneficial,
Yeah.
it does raise some interesting questions.
Like what?
How do we make sure that these AI-generated reports don't become too generic,
Oh, interesting.
or lack the nuances that often come from human observation and interpretation?
It's like we need to find a way to blend the efficiency of AI with the human touch,
Yes,
that provides those deeper insights
Yeah.
into the team's experiences and challenges.
exactly. Maybe there's a way to incorporate a layer of human review or feedback,
Right.
to make sure the reports capture the data,
Yeah.
but also the qualitative aspects of the project's progress.
It's about finding that right balance between automation and human oversight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears
Okay.
and talk about sprint planning.
All right.
I'm particularly interested in using ChatGPT to adjust plans based on previous results. It
Yes.
seems like a really powerful way to learn from the past
Yeah,
and improve future sprints.
for sure.
One of the best things about Agile is its iterative nature.
Right.
We're always learning and adapting
Right.
based on what happened in previous sprints.
Mm.
Now imagine using AI to enhance that learning process.
Okay.
The article suggests prompting ChatGPT to say, suggest adjustments to the sprint plan considering delays and unforeseen events reported.
So it's like having a virtual advisor
Yes.
who's constantly analyzing past performance and
Yes.
looking for ways to optimize.
Precisely, ChatGPT could analyze data from past sprints, identify patterns that we might miss, and suggest adjustments to timelines, resources,
Right.
or even the team itself.
It's like having a data-driven crystal ball
Yes,
that helps you see and navigate potential roadblocks
exactly.
before they derail the sprint.
Now, while that's amazing,
Yeah,
it makes you wonder, how much autonomy should we give these systems?
that's a good question.
Are we okay with ChatGPT making big changes to sprint plans without any human oversight?
Right?
Or should there be a system of checks and balances
Yeah,
to make sure those decisions align with the team's goals and understanding of the project?
that's a crucial question. It goes back to the idea of AI as a collaborative partner,
Yeah.
not a replacement for human judgment.
Absolutely. We need to integrate these tools in a way that empowers teams,
Right.
not diminishes their agency or expertise.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about finding that balance.
Exactly. Where AI helps us make more informed decisions.
Right.
But ultimately, humans are still in control.
Okay, now let's talk about risk management.
Okay.
No matter how much we plan
Right.
or analyze data,
Yeah.
there's always a chance for the unexpected.
Always.
Yeah.
Risk is just part of every project.
Yeah, and agile projects, with their iterative nature,
Yes.
often face even more potential for disruption.
Absolutely. Because of those constant adjustments and feedback loops.
Exactly. So the article highlights how ChatGPT can be a really valuable tool
Yes.
for proactively identifying and mitigating risks.
It's true. Imagine prompting ChatGPT to say, list the main risks identified in the last sprint and suggest mitigation strategies.
That would be so helpful.
Having that foresight would be invaluable.
It's like having a dedicated risk analyst
Right.
working behind the scenes
Constantly.
to anticipate problems.
But now I'm wondering about the potential downsides.
Okay.
Could relying too much on an AI risk assessment create a blind spot for the team?
Interesting.
Could they become complacent, thinking that ChatGPT has found every risk? When in reality, there might be factors that the AI just hasn't been trained to recognize.
That's a great point. Again, it's about balancing the efficiency and insights of AI with human intuition and experience.
Yes.
Maybe we could use ChatGPT's risk assessment as a starting point for discussion and further analysis.
I think that's key.
Yeah.
It's about using AI to enhance our understanding,
Right.
not to replace human judgment.
It's all about finding that balance.
Exactly as we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Now, beyond these specific applications,
Yeah.
I'm interested in the broader implications of integrating AI like this into Agile.
That's a great transition.
How might it change team dynamics, communication, and the whole culture of project management?
That's a perfect segue into the last section of the article.
Should we dive into those broader implications?
Let's do it. This is where things get really interesting. All right, so we've talked about how ChatGPT can streamline all those processes in Agile, backlog refinement, risk management, all of that. But now I'm thinking bigger picture. How could using AI like this in Agile change how we work together, collaborate, and even just approach projects in general?
It's really interesting to think about. One big impact might be how teams use their time. Like if ChatGPT's handling those routine tasks, people on the team could focus on the bigger things.
Right, like the strategic thinking, problem solving, the creative parts of their jobs.
Exactly. It's about using AI to make us better, not replace us.
Right, right.
And that could change team dynamics too.
Yeah.
Imagine a team where everyone feels like they can really contribute, using their unique skills because they're not bogged down with all that admin stuff.
Oh, yeah, a more engaged and energized team, which means better results, right?
Absolutely. It's about making work more human-centered, even as we use all this technology.
You know what else I find interesting? ChatGPT could really help smaller teams or organizations that have limited resources.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Access to tools like this could help those smaller teams compete with the big guys.
Right. It's like it levels the playing field.
Exactly. It gives them access to really sophisticated project management tools, which used to only be for companies with tons of resources.
And this also makes me think about communication in global teams. Teams spread across time zones, speaking different languages.
Oh, for sure. Imagine ChatGPT translating meeting summaries, project updates, even real-time conversations.
It's like having a universal translator right there in the workplace.
Yeah,
The possibilities for working together are huge. It could really change how international businesses work.
it seems like everything's pointing towards a future of work that's more connected, more collaborative, more efficient than ever before.
It's all really exciting, but are there any downsides? Any risks that come with integrating AI this deeply into how we work?
It's always good to be cautious. One challenge might be relying too much on AI. ChatGPT is a powerful tool, but it's still just a tool.
We can't let it completely replace human judgment and intuition.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance again. Another thing is the need for training. As AI keeps evolving so fast, teams have to stay up to date.
Right. It's a constant learning process.
Yeah. And this brings up the biggest question. What other cool ways can you, our listener, imagine using AI in project management and beyond?
That's a great question to think about. We've only just scratched the surface here.
That's what's exciting. We're at the start of something new. It's up to us to figure out how to use these tools to make work more efficient, fair, and more human-centered.
This has been such a great deep dive. Thanks for your insights today. I think we've really given our listeners a lot to consider.
It's been a pleasure. It's always inspiring to talk about these new technologies and how they can change the world.
To our listeners, thanks for joining us on this journey. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's